Welcome to my sewing room. Alright, so today on the tour I'm going to be showing you around my room, and then at the end of this video I'll be letting you know what I'm going to give away, and I will let you know how you can enter to win the special gift. Alright, stay tuned. Oh, hey! Well, just getting a little sewing in. I guess I'll take a break and give you a tour of my room. We'll start over here. So I have two desks. I need lots of space. So here is my very first starter machine that my sister bought me a few years ago. I actually let this thing sit for 3 years before I actually decided to use it. She actually bought it for me because I made blankets and I put names on it. But the first time I put it in the machine, it was like, going out of control. And I was like, no, I can't do this. And then I saw Mimi G's Regal Maxi on Pinterest, and I was like, I'm gonna try to make that. So I whipped this thing out and I gave it a try. It took me a whole week during spring break to make it, but I finished it. And over here is my new machine. As you can see, I have yet to use it. It's just been sitting here. I bought it about 2 months ago. It was on roll back at Walmart. And I haven't used it yet because I'm just so comfortable with my old machine. This is kind of a metaphor for my life. Something brand new that's right in front of you, but yet you want to keep going back to the past because you're comfortable. You need to move on because you have something bigger, better, and brighter in your future. If you would just take the time to get to learn the machine, know the machine, then you will make some beautiful garments. But no, you're still stuck in the past. It's time to move on. So I'm going to move on in a little bit. But yeah, these are my two sewing machines here. And here is my serger. My sister also bought this. She just invests in my sewing life. I guess that's probably why next to me she has the most clothing, because she invested in me, And here is one of my favorite scriptures. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And here is, I had bought these, I call them my three girls. These are my girls right here. I have bought these. I was looking for some art for my room. So I have this art piece here and this one here. And on my other wall, I have my third girl. And I have two more of my favorite scriptures. Also on this wall, I have my first and last DIY art project. So I actually, where's that thing? I actually use this as a stencil. Put it on a piece of paper, put some nails, and use some crochet thread. Because I also saw this on Pinterest, and I see why they charge so much, because this is very time consuming. But I'm a DIYer, so I had to, do it myself. So I'm in love with this piece. I might do a tutorial on this because my sister wants one, so maybe I'll do a tutorial on that. And also on this wall is my thread. So Pinterest just gave me all the ideas for my room. So I actually found this on Pinterest. Piece of wood. I stained it and then used some painter's tape to create to be able to paint it white. And I just drilled some nails in here. Yep, I need to know how to use my handy tools as well. And yeah, I just love this board. I can put my bobbins. I use like 3-inch nails, so I can fit my bobbins and my thread and my serger thread. Alright, now on to my favorite part of the room. This is my favorite part because everything starts with this. My fabric stash. As you can see, I just buy fabric, because I spend first and then ask what I'm going to make later. I have an obsession with fabric because, I never know when I'm going to need it. So up here, I just have different wax print fabrics. These are these are things that I've already used, and I may have like 1 or 2 yards left. This is like full bundles, like 6 yards or 4 yards. These are my knits. And then I have my interfacing and other types of fabric here. But yeah, I love my fabric. I'm obsessed. People have different things that they like to spend their money on, or different obsessions. My obsession is definitely fabric. That's all I'm always putting stuff in my cart. I may not always check out, I may not, I put things in there and I'm like, you should have checked out, because then I go back and it'd be like item sold. And I'd be like, dang, I should have just went ahead and checked out. Over here playing games, just go ahead and check out. If you knew you liked the fabric, just check out, because now you done missed out. And now it's not coming back. So you out, So now when I see something that I like, I put it in my cart and I'm checking out. Okay? But I don't put things in my cart until right before payday though, But yeah, so let's see. Ooh, yeah, up next, I'm going to make a skirt with this coming up next. And I'm going to make a matching shirt out of this dashiki. Ooh, yeah. What else do I have coming up? This is also new to my stash, some kente print. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites right here. I love it. I don't know what I'm going to make with the rest of this. I've already made a dress with it. And I love this one. Though I've had it for about 2 years, I'm going to use it. I just haven't had the perfect vision of what I wanted to use it for. But that's why you buy first and just ask later. Even if it sits for a couple of years. It's okay. I'm going to use it eventually. And I think with this one, I'm going to make a pencil skirt and a head wrap. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite part of my room. All of my fabric. Alright, and let me take you to this side of my room. Now over here, these are just different bins. I got these salmon colored or coral colored ones from Target. And I got these from Grocery Outlet. My mom never fails. I told her I wanted some. I was trying to keep with like a black and white theme for my room. And she called me up, Toya, I saw these baskets that you was looking for at the Grocery Outlet. So I drove over there to the Grocery Outlet near my mom's house and, picked up these baskets. She was like, yeah, this is a good deal. And my mom, she's always trying to get a good deal. So I knew that when I went that it was going to be a good deal. And it does tie into my room really nicely. So I have my bins, my top shelf. This is where I like to keep all of my rope for my necklaces. It's also where I keep my bracelets that I like to cover. And I'm going to actually try to cover these earrings, so I'll see how that turns out. And these little wooden pieces, eventually I'm going to decorate them. I just haven't gotten to it yet. And in here is where I keep all of my ribbon. So when I make my necklaces, I use ribbon. And also sometimes if I'm giving a bracelet as a gift, I like to line it with ribbon as well. And this is some crochet thread. This is what I use to actually make my DIY art piece. And I also keep my single fold bias tape or any bias tape in here. On this shelf and this bin is where I keep all of my wooden pieces and my jewelry bindings. So I have like these Africa wooden pieces. I also have like some different squares and rectangles, and these are all the wood that I like to cover with fabric. And then also just like other jewelry findings that I like to use to make my jewelry. And in here is where I keep all of my cover buttons. So I have different sizes. I have ranging from large to small. And I like to use these buttons to make button earrings. And I also use it for different projects. So my favorite one to use for projects are the size 20 buttons. And I use those for the majority of projects that call for buttons. I make my own. This is where I keep all of my elastic. So different sizes. I just throw it all in here. And in here is where I keep all of my zippers. And this is my pattern stash that I'm getting ready to sew right away. I have more patterns in this. Just be buying patterns when they go on sale and I never end up getting to them, but eventually I will. But these are the ones that I have coming up. So this cup here is what I use when I clip my threads. I just throw my threads, or if I'm trimming any seam allowances or anything, I just throw it in this cup and then I toss out everything later. In this storage unit here is where I keep all my scissors. So my paper scissors, my fabric scissors, my pinking shears, and this is a loop or tube turner. And I have a rotary cutter. And then in here is where I keep just all my marking tools. So fabric marking tools, paper marking tools, I keep them all in here. Alright, so this drawer here is where I need to do some organization. So in here I have my pattern weights, I have my measuring tape, I have peel and stick tape, some bobbins, I have my hand needles, I have my different sewing machine needles, I have another tube turner, more sewing machine needles, seam ripper, seam gauge, my homemade hem slash, what is that called? Casing allowance that I use. You've probably seen these in my videos. And I also have my safety pins, more pins. It's a notebook. I don't really use this. I have another notebook that I use to take all of my notes, like as I'm doing projects, and so I can refer back to it. I actually have a notebook. This is my other phone. See, another seam ripper. Another seam ripper in here. I gotta find the top to this somewhere in here. But I probably will go to one of those, that organizing store. I forget what it's called, but just so I can have. But for now, you know, this is organized chaos. I know where everything is, and if I can't find it up here in my little bin, then I know it's right here in my drawer. Alright, so this is my cutting table. So I actually built this from scratch. Look at me trying to be an engineer. But, you know, it's flawed in many ways, but it still works. You know, there are some improvements that I can make, but I'm still going to show it off to you. So these are tabletops that I got from IKEA. And these are like some storage units. Now, this is where I think I went wrong with the table. But, you know, I'll fix it in the future. But these are some storage units that I put the tabletops on. And then both sides of my table actually come up. So I can extend it to make it long, you know, wider, you know, when I'm cutting out my fabric. I really needed a wide surface because back in the day, when I was cutting on the floor, my back was hurting, knees aching. I'm like, whoo, I need to get me a table. And just, I couldn't find a table that was right for me. You know, I just needed something for my small, I needed something for, you know, my space. It's a bit small, so I needed something where I could be able to close it, make it smaller when I need to, and when then I can be able to also flare it out. It did have some legs on it. See, that was another thing, but my legs was too heavy. I don't know why I used such heavy, you know, bought these things from Home Depot to drill the legs in, but the legs were just too heavy. So now I just, when I flap up the side tables, I just have to place the wood under there. It works for now, you know, but eventually I will re-edit and revise my rough draft because this is my first table that I'm making from scratch. So, you know, you learn, you grow, you make mistakes so that you can get better. You know, nothing ever comes out right on the first try. I know that for a fact. Because inside this closet, I'm not going to show y'all, but inside here is a few mistakes. Some ugly things that have gone wrong. And it's some junk in here, but we're not going to go in there. Not today, not today. Alright, on to the part you have all been waiting for. What are you going to win? I know you're like, your room is alright, but what can I win? So you have the opportunity to win the Imani necklace. This is actually the necklace that I made inside. This is the necklace that I made for the tutorial. And yeah, it's called the Imani necklace. So if you would like to win the Imani necklace, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my blog. And also comment below why you want to win. Let me know. Actually, yeah, comment below why you want to win. Like, how would you style this? What would you wear it with? How would you slay the necklace? Let me know, ladies. All right, thank you for hanging out with me and doing my sewing room tour. And yeah, thank you for thank you for hanging out with me on my sewing room tour. And be sure to try to snatch up this Amani necklace. And if you want to learn how to make this necklace, be sure to check out my blog. All right, until next time.